Hey, gun people, let's look at some news. Uh-oh, Hawaii had a false alarm. Some dude pressed the wrong button. Some public employee quota hire, not qualified because we can't have standards in the public government anymore, pressed the wrong damn button, sent people into panic. Evidently, it took them like 20 or 30 minutes to finally figure out what was going on to fix it. They put signs up. So let me get this straight. The incompetent government that pressed the wrong button and put the whole state in a panic is the same one we're supposed to believe when they put up a sign, don't worry, there's no threat. Hell, they should have just put up, we're here to help you. Unbelievable. Evidently, during this attack, people were placing their kids in storm drains for protection, and I guess they're getting heat now. But you know what? That's probably a pretty safe place if bombs are going to start falling. I mean, you got shelter, you got something from the blast. That's not a bad idea, but evidently YouTube felt it was too disturbing, so they took down the guy's video. The video in here that showed him being placed in drains was taken down. So I went to the guy's site, and sure enough, there's another thing there that says, oh, this account's been terminated. I was like, okay. Good old YouTube. And liberal Canada is putting a limit on the poor refugees. Aww. I thought Canada was nice and kind and they would just take everybody. Aww. After fleeing Montreal from Long Island, she entered the country and she only got $600 a month from Canada. A work permit. Aw, isn't that nice? Free health care. Aw, free French lessons. Aw, Canada's so nice. Yeah, okay, great. And then down here, where's the dude in charge? Warnings that even liberal Canada has its limits. The Prime Minister, Ahmed Hussein, maybe that could be Obama's son, himself was a former refugee and moved the country. And they've taken 40,700 cases, but they can't take any more. So they're going to start kicking people out. Damn, Canada. I thought liberalism was just self-sufficient and it had no end. And if everybody was just happy and hugged everybody, you could take everybody. That's what liberals tell us until their country is in shambles. Steven Seagal, under investigation by LAPD. Evidently, multiple women have come forward. Ooh, sexual harassment. Ooh, wonder how long ago this was. 1995. Oh, hell, that was just a few years ago. Former Playboy model. Man, I mean, what can you say? You know, she was in Playboy. She must be honest, credible, and she waited freaking how many years? 20 years to report this? Let's jump all over it. Hang the man out and run him in front of court and make accusations and have everybody call him a sexual predator now. Absolutely no accountability or no investigation into all these false charges. It's just crazy. And this crazy-ass woman, Maxine Meltdown Waters, I think her last name is, she wants to impeach Trump now for name-calling. I mean, Obama was destroying the stinking country, doing all kind of unconstitutional crap, and nobody said anything about impeachment. They want to impeach Trump. She's a black woman. Did I say that? She wants to entreat Trump because he's a white devil, mean man, got to be racist, hate him because he's white. And now because he's disrespecting women. Oh, because in liberal world, if you can call somebody a sexist or a homophobe or a bigot or any name, suddenly you have the moral high ground. You're right. You're not questioned. You don't have to prove anything. You can just make these accusations and everyone else has to stand by and go, ooh, the poor minority Maxine must be right. Unbelievable, this country. All you people keep laughing at me every time I say I don't like flying because I don't trust pilots, planes, the people that work on planes, or the government that controls the airspace. And all of a sudden I'm the bad guy or I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, here we go. 168 people stuck on a plane because they can't land on a freaking runway. And, you know, everybody's screaming. Evidently there's some footage of it if you want to go look up the article. But, oh, it's flying safe, Rick. It's safer than cars. Yeah, I can tell. That looks wonderful. I wish I was there. Jesus, I could just be having so much fun. Got planes that can't land. You got cars that want to take off. Good old California, some knucklehead driving, launched into a second-story building, admitted to being on drugs. Oh, yay, they legalized marijuana. Yay! Okay, great. Now you ain't even safe on the second floor in that crazy state. Welcome to Mexico. Their first, #1, broke a new record, doubled their record from last year. Yeah, I guess in 2017, they had 1,700 homicides, doubled from the last year of 910 of the record set in 2016. Wow. We should just open our borders and invite everybody in from that country, because they don't have any of the problems we have, and they won't bring any of their problems, and we'll just print more money to give them more free stuff so they can have more babies and overpopulate and then live in the streets and then complain about too many homeless. Yeah, that's a great idea. I should be a liberal. Another sexual deviant, Sean Penn. Of course, he wants to crack on Donald Trump, call him the enemy of mankind. Unbelievable. Goes to Cuba. I think he went to Cuba, talked about how great their health care was. Probably over in Venezuela, talking about what a great country they are. He won't go there now, of course. And he lives in his little nice home with his closed gates and his security guard. Doesn't want other people to have guns, but hires an armed guard to guard him. Oh, yeah. Gee, liberals aren't double standard or hypocrisy at all. They're just great, wonderful human slime from Hollywood. And, of course, all the news is about liberal cause problems. NPR, another liberal, want to take government money, wants everything free, pushes the left agenda, always crying. You know, everything's just screwed up with. And now they're calling ICE Gestapo because ICE is out there actually enforcing the borders and arresting people that broke the law, committed felonies coming into this country, and suddenly ICE is the bad guy because the liberals think letting felons run around and just enter the country is good, until their kid gets shot or raped or molested, and then it's a problem. Then it'll be the cops' fault. Then it'll be the Republicans' fault. And of course, as a Cheetos bandit in New York, liberal run state. Oh, there he is, Rick. Why are you picking on him? He didn't do nothing wrong. It's not his fault. Anyway, he goes into, hands the clerk a fake 50, which is a common thing for crooks. They carry around counterfeit money. They hand you fake money. If you take it, they go. If you don't take it, when you open your drawer, they grab all the money and take it. The clerk caught that it was a fake. She goes, hey, I can't take this money because it's a fake. He pulled a gun. There's no guns. It was a no gun sign. There was a sign that said no guns. Liberals were all confused how he got brought a gun in with a sign that said no gun zone. But whatever. New York has the best gun control in the world. This guy pulls out a gun, grabs a bag of Cheetos, and runs out the store. Meanwhile, the liberals are somehow trying to make this a white man's fault issue, Trump fault issue. And, of course, more scum and disgust from California. They're trying to push their liberal agenda, so they're passing laws and legislation to go against anything that Trump does to circumvent his immigration stance, the internet freedom. See, liberals call it internet freedom when actually they want to stop conservative talk and they want to control the internet so only their liberal left agenda can be on the internet. Anytime you hear a liberal talk about freedom or act or anything like it usually means the opposite. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. So, Trump wants to end a program where 800,000 undocumented. See, they're illegal. They snuck across the country. They don't belong here. They've come across more than once, and it's a felony. So they're running around as felons with committing crimes to stay in here, and the liberals think that's a good idea for the country. I mean, they're only running a $2 billion deficit. Why don't we bring in more? We can't pay our bills. This is California liberal logic. We can't pay our bills. Let's bring in more people that have no money, no jobs, no skills, and are criminals. Let's bring in more of them because that'll make it better for the people who are raising their families and working hard and trying to get their kids a good education. That is liberalism in a nutshell, and I just don't get how stupid this country is. Well, I got to give it to these idiots. These liberals went out and wanted their own little country, so they moved out where everything can be free, they can be naked, they can live on the floor, they can eat whatever they want, they don't have government, they can hug and love and do whatever they want to do, and everything's going to be fine, and there's no government for safety or codes, so when they burn down, there's nobody come help them. they're just so happy. Oh, ain't that great? We can just move away from everybody. Yeah, let's see how long that lasts before you idiots are fleeing back. You know what? Why don't you make your location public so every illegal that wants to come in here, they can go out and live with you. And then y'all can all just live happily ever after. Ah, oh, Jesus, liberals. And I guess because of new tax or economy growing and you don't have liberals overspending, although I still think the government's way out of control and overspending. I'm not trying to say that. But 90% of workers are likely to see more money in their paycheck next month. Nobody's giving Trump or anybody credit for it, but that's what they're reporting. Flu season's shaping up worst in years. They're like all going crazy. February is the worst month, and it's not even February yet, and hospitals are so stacked and backed up, they're not allowing visitors anymore because they're trying not to get it spread. I don't understand it. The liberals in government force flu shots, say you got to have it, want everybody to have it, force people to get it, and now it's the worst season. Why the hell are all these people taking flu shots if it's the worst season? Well, I mean, we call that a clue if everybody's taking a flu shot and it's the worst season there is. I mean, what are the stats on the number of people that's got the flu that had the flu shot? Government. Tonya Harding. I don't know if you guys remember her. For you youngsters, back in 1994, Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding had they were both in the running for the Olympics. And evidently Tonya Harding had her boyfriend attack her and beat her up with a feet. Here was the footage that was like everywhere forever. Okay, so now you saw the victim. This is Tonya Harding. She did an interview. They had a special on the other night. I kind of watched it because I remember when all this was going on. Kind of very bad disposition. She didn't come off real good. Blamed everything on her mom, said her mom was mean. It wasn't her fault. She's a poor victim. She didn't know her husband was going to do it, although she heard him talking about breaking somebody's kneecaps before. I mean, it really shady. And she came off so bad that her agent ended up dumping her after this. But Nancy Kerrigan went on, not that year, but a couple years later to win a few gold medals. But that was a big story back then. It's in the news again. Finally, the TSA found something after all the searches and prodding and poking that they've done to every damn citizen. They found a cat packed in a luggage, and they didn't even find it. It went through luggage, and the x-ray picked it up, and they saw the skeleton, and when they searched it, some dummy had like a 6-week-old cat they had packed in their luggage. I just don't understand the ignorance of people sometimes. Anybody notice the trend that all the weird news comes out of California? The mayor of Merced County in California decided to go on the airport, and he saw some squirrels, so he wanted to start shooting at them. So he took his gun out and started shooting at them, and evidently a cop came and arrested him for shooting a gun. He didn't arrest him. He just gave him a ticket and let him go, but there's going to be a big issue on, you know, cops citing the mayor, politics, who's this, whatever. I don't care about any of the idiots. Cops are the mayor. I'm more worried about squirrels. Did he hit any of them? Hopefully he's stupid enough they didn't know how to shoot a gun. Good for Kentucky having a little common sense news. Evidently, they're going to require you to work and show that you have 80 hours of work. I mean, it looks like it's a step in the right direction. The problem is they exempted all the people they shouldn't exempted. Who did they exempt? They exempted foster care youth, pregnant women, primary caregivers. Everybody on welfare is a primary caregiver, in case you didn't know that. Big welfare fraud. Mom takes care of daughter. Daughter takes care of mom. They both get checks. They're both on welfare, and they make $5 grand each. Very common. You know, our great government can't catch that and figure that out. Full-time students, great. We don't exempt the people who are going to school to be more liberalized. Let's exempt them. Medically frail. What does that mean? I've got a marijuana smoking disorder, so now I'm medically frail? Because that's what California will do. Freaking common sense is superpower. Oh, this is kind of funny. This lady goes on vacation, comes back, there's another family living in her house. She's like, what the hell? Evidently, somebody was watching, knew she was going on vacation, figured out she was leaving, put an ad in the paper, said they own this house and they'd rent it for a cheap price. They rent it to these other people for like $800 a month. It's some fancy, nice place. She comes back, they're on her couch doing laundry, all messing up her house. They're living in there saying, hey, we paid rent. Who'd you pay rent to? The owner. She goes, I'm the owner. Well, guess what? Both of you just got screwed. You know, quota hires in the government, they're always hiring the incompetent because of color, sex, sexual orientation, religion. Hire you for every reason except being a decent, qualified human being, and then they wonder why they're going broke and nobody gets their freaking mail. I can't ever get a mail. If it says fragile, it's broken. If it says do not bend, it's bent in half. If it says, don't force, it'll be smashed. I mean, it's just crazy the type of crappy service we get in our mail department run by the federal government, by all these quota hires, and this happens all the time. This 50-year-old postal worker didn't want to deliver the mail, so he just drove home and burnt it. I mean, it's like a Seinfeld episode where who's the postman on there that used to hide when it rained, he'd hide all the mail down in the basement, and he ended up with, this is actual life. This postal worker just went out and burnt 20 tubs of mail. Those could have been inheritance notification. They could have been somebody died, we need you. They could have been, I mean, they could have just been all kind of things. And federal government, no problem. Now you stick your hand, I can't even mail a freaking letter over there without signing away under penalty of perjury that I don't have a piece of dog hair in there to transmit some flea to another country. But these postal workers run around burning tubs of thing, and nobody's got a problem with that. And we wonder why the post office is going broke. And we keep hiring these incompetent people. Unstinking believable. Still don't know what's going on here. They're saying they knew that he had gun stashes. Yeah, whatever. They went to his house, found some guns. But in this article, which is pretty interesting, for those, if I got any viewers out there that's not cop or law enforcement related, they did a warrant. The FBI went back like 15 days later to do a follow-up search. Normally that means you screwed up. And the way a search warrant works is when I get a warrant to search a house, that warrant has to be executed within 10 days or I have to get it renewed. And then after 10 days, if I serve the warrant, as soon as I serve that warrant, that only gives me permission to search that house while I'm there at one time. If I leave, I have to go get another warrant. So evidently the FBI got a warrant, went in, searched the house, and went back 2 weeks later after the house was broken into, and they went back in the house and researched it. Now, if they found any evidence, of course, this case, they're just spending money. They got no answers, and they're spending money, and they got nobody they're trying to convict. But yet they're searching, they're breaking laws, they're doing things they shouldn't do, and nobody cares because nobody's going to have standing to sue them for violating anybody's rights because the guy supposedly that did this killed himself, if we're to believe that. We still don't know a motive. We still don't know anything about this guy. Biggest investigation, biggest homicide, biggest gun control yelling effort in ever, and we don't know a damn thing about this guy. Absolutely ridiculous. Hell, I never even heard of Grindr. Evidently, it's some gay, bisexual, LBGT, ABC app, and now they're worried because the Chinese government just bought it that they're going to find out who's playing nice in the closet with who else. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't get this at all. Evidently, Mark Zucker, dummy, went in and said he's going to do something to Facebook, bring it back to its roots, and the stock dropped by $3.3 billion. He lost just in his stock $3.3 billion. I mean, I don't get it. Evidently, he's saying they're going back to families and friends, and they're going to start redirecting feeds. They've been doing that forever. They've been squashing conservative. They took away the ability to have gun pages, and they've pretty much pushed out everything conservative on that channel. Or on, I don't even go to Facebook hardly anymore. I got my Think Like Cop Facebook page where a lot of people go there and talk and post good stuff. Every once in a while I go read it, but it's ridiculous. I think we might end up losing this one. U.S. Supreme Court's going to look into this internet sales tax. And the way they're going about it is it's not fair that retailers and people who have storefronts have to charge taxes. And because the internet bill years back pretty much put a ban on collecting taxes on the internet, now they're saying we got to collect taxes because there's like billions of dollars. They're saying states could have collected $13 billion in 2017 from the internet. Anytime government sees something where people are being prosperous and it's growing and it's become really good for the country, they have to jump in and tax it, control it, legislate it, have a rule to, they want now the Free Internet Act or whatever. They want to control the internet. They want to control the waves. They want to tax. Our government is out of control. And they're crying about losing, oh, we got to have the internet tax. We're losing money. still ran a $225 billion deficit, and yet they collected a record number of income taxes through December. Government will never have enough. They never have a budget. They're always going to want more. They're always going to spend more than they have, and they're always going to take more from the working class. People need to wake up, and we have to get control of our government because we have lost it, and this country is going to fail. We're running a $225 billion deficit. We're letting millions of people, they want to say thousands or hundreds. I'm telling you, we got millions of people coming in legally and illegally across borders, taking them in as refugees, coming to Florida from Cuba, wherever, coming across to Mexico, coming into California, coming across the Canadian border. We have them coming everywhere. Our country's broke. We're still running a deficit. They're collecting massive amount of taxes from people, and the freaking liberals are still running around. We need more government. We need more taxes. Unstinking believable where this country has gone. And we'll end it with more of our great liberals bringing in illegals saying it's good for the country. This fine illegal, yeah, I know, liberals get upset. You can't use that word because they want to redefine their word. This poor, undocumented, running from a troubled country, came here to go to doctor school. He's about to become a doctor. He's been deported 5 times. He's an illegal. He threatened to shoot and kill people on the bus, ran from the police, took the bus hostage, ran over spike strips, and endangered all these people's lives. And the liberals are saying everyone that was involved is a racist, and the poor immigrant is just coming here to go to doctor school. Unstinking believable. Keep your head up, Patriots. We'll end the news there.